I know you're a bride to be. I know you have tons of work to do. I know you're keeping very, very busy. But at the same time, I know that you are very concerned about your health and fitness before you get married. I think that's why you have clicked on this video. But at the same time, I know that you are done with all the confusing information which is available on the internet from the random sources about workout and nutrition. That is the reason why today I am covering the scientific basis of why, what, and how the workouts you're supposed to do. That is the reason why today I'm going to cover the what, why, and hows of the workout. And I'm not going to do it alone. I have invited somebody very, very special. So let me just introduce that person first before we get into the conversation. We are going to have this conversation with none other than Nidhi Mohan Kamal. She is the director of the Knits and Wellness. But more importantly, she is a food and chemical engineer with a specialization in nutrition. She has an overall experience of 14 years and she's a certified Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga trainer. She's also a certified strength trainer and she's among the 16 top international trainers of the Puma Track app along with Virat Kohli and Lewis Hamilton. She has been workout since her teenage and she has numerous publications, awards and specializations to her name. So let's welcome Nidhi Mohan Kamal. Hi Nidhi, welcome. Welcome
Hello.
to Renourish with Manisha. I have been looking forward to this conversation, in fact, for how many years?
I don't know.
2, 3,
More than that, I guess. 4.
4, almost 4
Yeah.
years. Yes, we met, I guess,
2017.
yes, Natasha's event, the yoga class. That was the first time we met.
I have no memory. Yeah.
So we met then, and then after that we met for the Puma classes,
Yes.
the workouts which you were taking. Yes, and then I met your mother also that very day. We
Okay.
had a conversation. You were busy with other people, so I had a conversation.
Yeah. That was 2017.
Yes.
That I remember. Yeah.
So yeah. And finally, we are doing something together, which I hope is going to be very valuable for the viewers. So I've given a brief introduction of what and why workouts are important. But then I want that expert opinion on exactly what kind of workout for a specific population, which is bride to be in this case.
Mhm.
So here are a few questions which I want your opinion on. These are some very commonly asked questions. At times there are right questions. At times there are even myth-driven questions. So it's a combination of all of those kind of questions. So let's get started.
Sure.
Okay. So the first very commonly asked question: what is the workout that we can do for weight loss?
I'm sure you can answer this better than me, but I think when it comes to weight loss, it's 85% what you eat, 15% workout. So a very big chunk of your work is actually not inside the gym or on the mat, but like actually in the kitchen. So 85% contribution will come from making the right choices in terms of eating, and 15% will come in terms of workout. Now, it's important that you move your body, but unfortunately, there isn't like a workout that is a weight loss workout. Also, we have to understand that human body is made for movement. We are not genetically wired to sit in front of screens that we made for extended periods of time. We are genetically made to like move, but we've made our lives easier by making like cars and you know home delivery and all that stuff. So yeah, I think we are made to move. So, but since we don't do that anymore, that's why it's imperative to give yourself a set time during the day, some time which is dedicated to movement. And so I don't really consider workout as something that you have to do to lose weight. I think workout is required so that you can function properly.
Yeah. Okay. Very beautifully answered. And yes, I second you on that. Workout is something, in fact, there is this specific equation that I talk about on my channel, which is the 3 steps to the body transformation. The first step being the workout, because when you work out, you basically do a quantified way of, it's a quantified way of damaging the body.
Mm-hmm.
And why we do it? Because when we know how much damage we have done, we know how much repair we can do by giving the raw material for that repair, and that will come from the food. And then the third pillar of this body transformation equation will be sleep. So you do the damage, then you provide raw material for the repair, and the repair will happen when you sleep. And that's how you can achieve any result from your body which you want. Again, the next question, very commonly asked, and I think it is also tad bit misled, but yes, which yoga asana can we do for losing weight?
Okay, so there is, again, unfortunately, there isn't like a one that I can say that you can do to lose weight. Although, when you search it online, you'll find so many videos on 5 yoga asanas for this. And, firstly, understand that yoga is not, the whole idea of yoga is nothing to do with your physical body. It's a spiritual practice which has an element of movement. And that is the only idea of doing asana practice is that you learn to control your body. Once you learn to control your body, then controlling mind is easier. It's metaphorically connected that way. But otherwise, there isn't a yoga asana that will help you to lose weight. The whole thing is a scam. Don't fall for it. Any movement is good movement. If you are doing yoga to just get fit, then anything and everything is beneficial. It's got its own challenges in a different way, but none of it is either designed for weight loss or should be used or seen like one.
I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed.
Of course.
Yeah. Because we keep looking for that one thing which will give us the result, that one recipe which will give us weight loss, that one drink which will magically melt all our fat, but it doesn't happen. Yeah. And it is heartbreaking, but it is true. The faster we accept that, the easier it is to achieve the result that we want. But something important, there are a lot of girls who suffer from hormonal imbalances right from the moment they hit puberty. Yeah. So are there any specific yoga asanas which a girl who has her hormones out of balance, she can do?
See, there are, again, I can't say there is one because there aren't there isn't one hormone that affects your cycles. I mean, there's so many which do, but there are different poses that can have a positive impact on different body parts. Just to give you an example, there are so many poses that open up this part or the throat chakra. So for thyroid related issues, that can be beneficial. Again, these are not things that were traditionally practiced for that, but they're called something else, and they're not even called thyroid gland. They're called something else. There are chakras involved, and there are different places where you release energy around different chakras. So yeah, there are specifics for it. Like, as I said, fish pose, camel pose, anything that's kind of opening up this puppy pose will definitely affect positively in terms of thyroid. Locks, again, bandha, if you're applying the throat lock, it definitely helps with that. If you're talking about things like PCOS, PCOD, endometriosis, or all of those things, which are like another set of glands, then there are things like the locust pose. Those are kind of helpful in achieving that. And then just generally kidneys, pancreas, all those kind of things. There are different mudras and asanas for that. But again, as I said, there can't be one that you can practice. It's each to its own. So depending on what your problem is, something or the other can be beneficial.
Okay.
So there are poses that can help with PCOS. There, I think I've made a video on that. Thyroid, as I said, I did make a video on that. But again, depends on where the problem is. And when it comes to PCOS or such problems, I think not just yogasanas, but restorative also helps a lot, which is the part the last bit in your triangle of sleep.
Yes.
So I think the rising stress levels also a very big concern. And although we talk about mental health a lot, we talk about hustle a lot. It's kind of confusing for a person to, kind of choose between, do I hustle or do I take care of my mental health? So that's where I say restorative also kind of comes in.
And yeah, and I think circadian rhythm is something which is so less talked about.
Yeah.
And the importance that we give to sleep is so less that it becomes toxic at times. Because what I feel that usually we glorify our bad habits.
Yeah,
Oh,
and also,
I slept for only 4 hours last night and still I'm fine. I had a whole bottle of alcohol and still I didn't budge. So
yeah,
we take a lot of pride in
yeah.
our bad habits.
See, hustle is glorified, of course, and but one has to understand that muscles are built while we're in sleep. Repair happens while we're in sleep. Healing happens while you're in sleep, and also just sleep is not enough. So understand that the quality of sleep is more important than the number of hours. A person like me, I could be in bed for 9 hours and not feel rested. And there are times when I have 6 hours of very deep, good quality sleep. I wake up fresh. So it's my mental condition before I go to sleep. How calm was I? How I was able to relax myself before I went to sleep. That also kind of helps a lot. That's why I said restorative. So things like yoga nidra, restorative. When I'm trying to teach a class or when I'm in my regular group class and I suddenly say today restorative, people are like, oh, I came here to burn calories. But it's not always like burning calories. Sometimes it's slowing down is more important than like being burning calorie mode. We all see yin and yang have to be like balanced. And unfortunately, our world is dominated by yang. So so the patriarchy we talk about is not just in form of like the patriarchy, so to speak, but also energy wise, I think it's very yang energy. And as we said, glorifying everything that's yang energy. We don't really appreciate yin, slowing down and, being in your feminine, resting,
Nurturing.
staying in one space, conserving your energy. And, that's, I think, also very important. And especially if I speak from a very metaphysical, spiritual point of view, if anybody has hormonal issues, especially females, and hormonal issues related to, our genetics, like male female hormone imbalance, PCOD, and endometriosis. In such cases, it's even more important to kind of, check in with yourself that where's your energy going? Because, the hustle is on and, we all on like, get on it. And, it's slowing down is not really appreciated. And I think it's very underrated. One must.
It is, yes. In fact, I did a dedicated video on sleep. So what I'll do is I'll link that in iMark, and I'll pick up videos from your channel which will be related to this, and I'll put them in description. Okay. Another very myth-driven question, but then I have in fact spoken about this on my channel, but then still I would want your opinion on that. Gym or yoga?
I think I made a very lengthy video on smoothies, I guess.
Yes.
Where, I mean, it's kind of related, but they are both very different ideologies. They're both very not conflicting, but they're just bang opposite to each other in terms of what is the idea of it. So, in short, the idea of bodybuilding or weight training is to build muscle, which is not wrong. The idea of doing yoga is to find divine. Yeah, so connect yourself with the universe, whatever you,
The higher.
whatever you, higher power, whatever you want to name it, right? So basically, that's the idea of yoga, and your body is a channel through which that happens. That's why we do asana practice. So yoga doesn't end on 108 Surya Namaskars to lose weight. It is way beyond. So I mean, it really depends on why you're doing it. It's not like doctor ne bol diya yoga kar lo to yoga kar rahe ho. Like, it's very important to know why you're doing it. So we can't really superficially say, for weight loss you're doing this. I really personally don't like that idea. Uh, I think if you're doing something, you should like know what you're getting into before going ahead. So, and if I talk from a very scientific point of view in terms of calories burned, although all our apps, our Apple Watch does have yoga workouts integrated. So you'd see that the normal, like the calorie burnt is not really very different. If you look at an HIIT kind of a program and you look at Ashtanga, they're kind of similar. Ashtanga almost looks like a CrossFit of yoga, version of yoga. Animal flow is technically yoga. It is. So I don't think there's a lot of difference. But if you're practicing a different form, so yoga is a very generic term, and now we have so many forms. There's acro, there's yin, there is restorative, there's vinyasa, there's hatha vinyasa, there's ashtanga vinyasa. So it really depends on what you're doing. You can't really calorie wise, all of them will be different. So how your class is structured really depends on how the teacher structured it for you, and that really determines the calorie burned. But that's really not the idea of yoga. On the other hand, weight training is purely resistance training. There, the objective is aesthetic first. Of course, health is like, it's not like you're not healthy doing that. Of course, you are. But there, the objective is building muscle in a particular area. So that has its own benefits. This one has its own. But for weight loss, resistance training is very important. So most yoga is also, if you look at it that way, it's also resistance training as well. But body weight, because there are no props or weights involved. But it's got its own challenges. Weight training has got its own challenges. So again, each to its own. See, it depends on what your objective is, what appeals to you more, what can you sustain better, lifelong. So yeah, I wouldn't say one is better than the other. Like, I do both personally. 4 to 5 days a week is weight training, and yoga is kind of pitching in every day. So yeah. So confusing answer.
No, I think I'll give that a little bit of structure there. So the people who want to work out for only the physical benefit, I keep talking about this in my videos also, that there are actually 5 elements of fitness. So there is cardiovascular endurance, there is muscular endurance, then there is muscular strength, then there is flexibility, and then comes the body composition. So whatever workout you pick up, it needs to cover all of the components. So if you just get up and go running or just dance all 7 days, it's not going to work. It has to be a combination of, you need to challenge your muscles so that you increase strength. You need to challenge the range of motion of the muscle by practicing flexibility. If for you flexibility means yoga, fine, do that. If for you flexibility means just a normal stretch, fine, do that. But then it has to be a part of your workout. Then your muscular endurance, again, is something that you need to practice. It's not like you just lift one weight once and then you're done. So you need those repetitions so that your muscles can actually be able to do the same movement for at least a certain set of numbers. So yeah, for the people who want to do only for the physical benefit, and they don't care about the spiritual piece, which will be sad, but still, if they do not want to, then yeah, this is one thing that they can focus on. Multiple types of workout, not only sticking to just one. Okay, if there are some people who cannot go out to the gym or do not have any equipments, then what they can do as a workout?
So much. So much. I mean, you can go online and see no gym, no problem. You'll find like 20 million workouts there. So I think you can do HIIT, you can do body weight workouts, you can do mat Pilates, you can do, of course, you can do any sort of yoga, any kind of yoga. You really don't need any props for anything. Props are there to help. External weights are there to help. I believe that if you are a seasoned um, weightlifter as well, like if you have been doing it for a very long time, then also you need very less equipment. Like if I count on fingertips, what equipment do I need in the gym? I need a squat rack, I need an Olympic rod, maybe I need a Smith machine, and that's it. Like I'm done. Or I need a pull-up bar. Yeah. And I'm done. Like I'm done. There's a bench, of course. I'm going to a gym, there's going to be a bench. Right. And that's it. You don't need much. So, but when you're a beginner and you don't know how to control your own body and then lift the weight, that's where you need a lot of machines. Because the whole idea of the gym equipment is that for a beginner, starting off, like if just take one simple thing, for example, if you can't do a push up or you can't do a free bench press, then going to a gym and sitting down on that machine, which has a,
Support.
which has a support is good for you because it's poka yoke. You can't really go wrong on it. So there's something that supports your back, there's something that supports your posture. And on that machine, there's only an isolated front and back movement that you can do. So there's barely any chance of, making an error. And you can start as low as 5 kg without, using. So if I don't know how to engage my core, I can't really go wrong because my core is already supported. So that's the whole idea of actually going to the gym, gym. And then, so for a beginner, it's kind of difficult, not difficult, I'd say, but it's kind of challenging. If you need a lot of mindfulness to start something at home. It's easier at the gym because there's so much less thinking. You just have to sit on the machine, just make sure that your posture on the machine is the right, and then you can start with as low as 5 to 2.5 kg, and you really can't go wrong there. It's the margin of error is pretty less. When you become an intermediate sort of a person, now you can do machines also, you can do free weights also. That's where you can kind of do stuff at home. So if I have a free bar at home, or I have a stepper, or I have something that is similar to a bench, I can actually do a full body workout at home. And then comes another level where you need more weights than your body weight, right? When you need a 20 kg Olympic bar, when you need like 15 to 20 kgs of weight each side, that's where again you can't do it at home because you can't be banging on, your neighbors doing the deadlifts. You really need to go to a gym. So I think these are the two categories of people who have to go to a gym. One is an absolute beginner. It's not like you have to, but it's difficult to do it at home. And one is the other extreme, when you reach kind of a pro level. There, of course, if you have an option of setting up something in the basement, you can, but otherwise it's hard. Yeah, but I think in between, anyone can transition stuff at home because eventually you do move away from the machines, and you can buy little equipment at home. Or if you don't even have anything, then of course I said body weight workouts. Google it, you'll find like 30 million options.
That's actually true. And in fact, this answer evokes another question.
Sure.
Let's say I am somebody who does not have any equipment and I don't have any experience, though neither of that is true. But then let's just hypothetically say I'm somebody like that. Where do I start? If I want to work out from tomorrow morning, what do I do?
Walk. That's where I usually tell people to start. Like, do you take out half an hour, 20 minutes for yourself to actually just dedicatedly go for a walk? If you do that, and there are a lot of people who do, an hour of walk, then you start adding with basic workouts like planks. Build your plank strength to a minute. Then add another basic workout like a push-up. And it doesn't have to start with the floor push-up. It can start with the wall push-up, and then you can graduate to something like doing it on the table. Then you can graduate to, a mat, and then knees on the floor, and then do a full push-up. So, basic stuff. wall squats, wall push-up, walk, plank. That's where you start.
That's a good start. That's a pretty good start. Yeah. Also, what is your view on starting like a certain intensity with Suryanamaskars? Because once somebody starts with Suryanamaskars, it can be used as per my experience. I love Suryanamaskar is my favorite exercise. So it can be used as a cardio if you do it fast enough. It can be used as a resistance training if you do it really slow. It can help you with your flexibility, and it's fun. And there are so many variations which you can do. So how good that would be for somebody who wants to start?
It's not a bad idea. As you said, it's a complete workout. Whether you follow Ashtanga style or Hatha style, it's both a complete workout. But a word of caution here. I see this trend of 108 a lot. There is nothing wrong in it. There's nothing wrong in it. But a practice of 108 Surya Namaskar plus the basic some things, like say if I'm doing primary seals, right? It used to take people about 3.5 to 4 hours to practice. Now I know there are 108 Surya Namaskars video online which are 50 minutes. Just do the math, how quickly you did that. Yeah. So you're actually completing a round in like less than a minute.
30 seconds, which is very less.
Yeah, it's very less. Even if you're doing 108, it should, even if it's taking you 108 minutes, that's more than 1.5 hours. It's actually almost 2 hours, 12 minutes less than that. So, do you first have the time to do it? Secondly, my apprehension with doing too many is that I really doubt that you will sustain the posture and you will sustain the breathing. And if those two things don't happen, then the whole idea of doing it is it's like tick in the box. I'm just finishing it. So, yeah. So if you take one deep breath in, one deep breath out,
correct.
Just see how much time does it take you. I think on an average, it would take you about 40 seconds. One deep breath in, one deep breath out.
Yes.
So if I'm doing a vinyasa, which has, say, I'm going to take Ashtanga because I'm used to that. So it has 9 postures plus 1. So you come back to, right? So 10. So if I'm giving one inhale, exhale, 20 seconds. It's 120 seconds. Here, 120 seconds is just the vinyasa. That's 2 minutes.
2 minutes per round. Yes.
No. And you hold one posture for 5 breaths.
Yes.
So if I'm counting one breath has 40 seconds, it's too, I'm just, 40 seconds is too much. You don't do that. But generally also, if you do that, one inhale, exhale, let's just count. 7 to 8 seconds minimum.
Easily, yeah.
Minimum,
easily.
Right?
Easily.
So 10 postures, 7 to 8 seconds is still a minute. More than a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Still more than a minute. And if you're holding, again, 7 to 8 is what I'm counting. And then I'm holding it for 5 breaths. That means 8 into 20.
Yeah, that's 160 seconds. So that's again more than 2 minutes.
So one round would actually be taking you anywhere between 3.5 to 5 minutes. Calculate into 108. Now tell me, is it practical?
Yes.
So anybody who's doing it in an hour or even 2 hours is kind of cheating through it. It's not the full breaths. So personally, for me, when I'm taking a class, I would not like top more than 10 is not for me. 10 is what you will really do nicely, sustained, looking at your posture, controlling each posture, each breath. And trust me, if you do it at that pace, that's where the benefit starts to come in.
In fact, you have just validated my opinion here. I never discussed this online. I used to take group classes at Fitness First, Connaught Place. And there, in 1 hour class, I used to do 12 Surya Namaskars. And I used to feel at times, because of You constantly compare yourself with other people who are more established in the system, uh, and I used to feel that, okay, fine, वो तो इतने सारे करवा देते हैं, how come my class? But I'm feeling good right now, thank you.
I'm telling you, I mean, I've never crossed 10 in like ever. Like in my class, I would never have crossed 10. 10 is good enough.
More than enough.
Yeah, yeah. 10 is tops. Yeah.
And in fact, if you do it really nice, even if you just talk about the physical benefit, you would be sweating.
Yeah, of course.
Even in 10th Suryanamaskar. Even in, I think, the 3rd Suryanamaskar onwards, you would be sweating.
Yeah.
By the 10th, you would be drenched.
Yeah.
If you do it
because
really
well. Because if you're using the full breath, if you're using abdominal, if your breath is ujjayi,
yes,
then 108 is going to take you a really long. I'm telling you, it's going to be about 3 hours, minimal 3 hours.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct. So you've just established the thought again. Not too much, not too less. That's how your workout should be.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
Quality, yes. Okay. The one thing which, although we have discussed a lot of mistakes that we will do, but then on top of your head, if you can think of some common mistakes that people do when they start the conversation about the workout and then they start working out.
Expecting results too soon. Right off the bat. That's what it comes to my mind. Because see, the expectation when it comes to either losing weight or building body or doing even yoga is that and this is a culture thing as well. And if you go online and you see there is a huge culture of 5-minute workout for burning abs, 10-minute workout, 7-minute workout. I'm guilty of that. I put it online as well, because that's exactly what people want to consume. But you and I know that doesn't happen. Anytime I've gone to the gym and like thought about the shortest possible workout that can happen, and I'm not considering cardio and stretching, just the shortest possible workout is about 35-40 minutes.
Easily.
It's easily, right? So I don't know where this concept of the 7-8 minute workout has come in. I'm not saying it will not help you maintain it. So if I am where I am right now, if I'm doing those 7-minute, 8-minute HIIT programs, I will sustain my muscle mass. I will sustain my body where it is beautifully. But I don't think that for a beginner, that's enough. I think that's one mistake that people kind of make, is that expecting first results to come like too soon. And then thinking that if you accumulated fat over like 10 years or decades or whatever, expecting it to lose in a couple of months. I mean, the math doesn't happen. So building muscle will take time, building endurance will take time, building flexibility will take time. It requires consistent effort, day in, day out, for not months, not weeks, sometimes years together. So don't expect the results to come in 3 months. Those videos just do well on YouTube because people want it, but that doesn't mean in real life it kind of happens.
Yes, and I think it's true in anything where our body is concerned. It takes, this is what I talk to my one-on-one clients, that when our body shows some sign on the medical report, that's when our body is telling, okay, fine, I have been exploited for years, now I cannot handle. Because our body is so, it's the most intelligent machine ever made, because there are systems for troubleshooting almost anything. And there are ways that our body tells us that there is some problem. So the people who go for maybe a gallbladder surgery, maybe 3 years ago, it was just a mild excessive burping. Or, weekly acidity. It was our body's way of telling that, okay, fine, something is wrong, you need to fix it. We don't. And then we let years pass on, and then we expect, okay, fine. There was this video on YouTube which said that I can lose 10 kgs in a month. Let me do that. So,
Yeah.
and then there'll be, there is this XYZ place where they offer, weight loss solutions, and they have testimonials. So
Yeah.
there is such a mania of the speed of body transformation that because of that mania, people actually end up hurting their body even more than what
More.
they
Yeah.
started with. And it takes them even more time eventually, because they'll start something, it won't be sustainable, they get off it, and then the result all bounces back with even more intensity. So they'll
And after all that yo-yoing, the damage it has already done to your metabolism is way worse.
yes.
So I mean, sustainability in like weight loss also is like a huge deal. I mean, I'm all for it. Like, I'm never in for like an extreme plan, nothing. Like, I'm like, just take it easy, you just started. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You're not going to do it in a day. You're not going to do it in 2 weeks. They're like, oh, but I weighed the same thing 3 weeks ago. I'm like, it's fine.
Exactly.
You're still not at the same place, even if you're at the same weight. Progress is progress, sometimes measurable, sometimes not so measurable within a span of 3 weeks.
Yes. And in fact, I feel there are so many non-tangible parameters that we
Yeah.
ignore completely just because that one number on the scale is not favorable.
Yeah.
So I even did a reel on that on my Instagram, that you can see that your skin is getting better, your hair are getting better, you're getting slimmer, you're getting more energetic. But the moment the weighing
You
scale
step on the
says,
scale.
yes, that okay, fine, last week your weight was X, right now your weight is X plus 0.5 kgs.
My whole world is over.
Yes.
Yeah.
मैं
But I think I don't blame it on people. I think it's years of conditioning of attaching our emotions with that weight. And also, again, this is again the yin thing, what you can't measure, you can't improve. So if you can't measure it, then you can't improve it. It's not true. Sometimes there are so many things that you cannot measure, but you can still improve on them.
Yeah. I hope we both, I think we are going to be relentless when it comes to talking what matters. And despite the fact that both of us being nutritionists, and our work, our bread and butter relies on this, but still we can't, we just cannot make money out of the misery of somebody's obsession of scale. Just can't do it. So yeah, I am glad that we had so much in common, first of all. And I'm glad that we could talk at such length. Thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes. And anybody who wants to check out Nidhi's amazing channel, I'm going to link all the videos that we spoke about in the description box. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, let me know in the comments. And if you didn't, let me know in the comments even then. If you really like this video, share it with a friend. You both would be happy. So yeah, on that note, we will take a leave, and I'll see you next week with another video. And yeah, I love you unconditionally. Bye. I hope this conversation has actually motivated you to start lifting those weights and start getting stronger. And I also hope that I have implanted that seed in your mind that weight training is actually the fastest way to achieve any result that you want from your body. And if this video has added any value to your life, then like the video because it is free, subscribe to the channel because that is also free, and you can always change your mind later. I'm going to link the related videos here in the I mark, and I would request you to watch this video next because it is an important one. I'll see you in this one. Bye.